Minasan, ohayo gozaimasu. Welcome! This channel is for Japanese learners of English. Hyomo shadowing no lesson will yat ikimashou. Listen to today's real native conversation. Focus on the rhythm and shadow along. Practice daily to master tango, bunpao, hatsuan, and rhythm. Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Zei. Chenaru no Toroku. Wo onegai shimasu. Okay, are you ready? Here we go.
Ever felt lost trying to navigate a foreign recipe? It was like, trying to build something from IKEA without the instructions. Well, what if I told you that there are ways to make cooking, or shall we say, culinary adventures, in English, a piece of cake?
A piece of cake. I see what you did there. But seriously, it's not just about translating words. It's about understanding how different cultures talk about food and the way they cook, right?
Exactly. It's not just about saying ingredients when you need to figure out what goes into a dish. It's about knowing what simmer or braise actually means. These aren't just fancy words that people throw around. They actually describe specific cooking methods and what you get at the end.
Right. It's like you could have all the right ingredients, but if you don't know how to saute versus stir fry, your dish will probably go sideways, huh?
Oh, absolutely. And what about just trying to figure out what size that's supposed to be, right? Like in English recipe, they say a teaspoon or a tablespoon. In Japanese recipes, they just say small spoon or big spoon,
Yeah. And then there are those words like chop versus mince. They both involve cutting, but it's two different results. Knowing that mince is like super tiny pieces, it really makes a difference in how the final dish will turn out.
It's all in the details, right? When you're talking about cooking in English, it's not just about knowing the names of food, but also all these little details, the way you need to, like cut or cook.
And it's not just about the cooking. It's about all the tools and the equipment. A pot isn't just a pan, right?
Exactly. And you've got skillets, wokes, saucepans, and Dutch ovens. Each has its own purpose. Each has, its own unique use case.
And then, of course, the seasoning. Condiment versus seasoning. That was eye-opening.
Yeah. Seasoning refers to the ingredients, like salt and pepper, that are integral to the cooking process. Well, condiments are like your finishing touches. Ketchup, mayo, you get it.
Right. Then you have other things like bake for when you use the oven and grill if you're, throwing something on the BBQ.
Oh, yeah. And roast for when you're cooking a hunk of meat in the oven. Or if you're doing an omelet, that's a fry, unless you do a gentle boil, which you would call a pooch.
So it's all a bit nuanced, isn't it? It's like navigating a whole new world of culinary terms. You can't just wing it.
No, you really can't. And that goes for all the different kinds of recipes that are out there, like trying to explain how to make a Japanese oyakodon in English. You could call it a chicken and egg rice bowl, but that is not the full picture, is it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't even begin to touch on the layers of flavor that are built or even how it's simmered.
Right.
Is all in the details.
Yeah. And if you were to say salmon and salmon roe over rice, most English speakers wouldn't really know what you're talking about. There's a whole world of cultural understanding behind just those words.
Right. It's not just about the name of the dish, but the whole process and the actual food itself, It's also about understanding how the words are used and what they really mean in a cooking context.
So, if you're serious about exploring all those incredible recipes, you've got to get acquainted with cooking-related English phrases. This way, you can impress your friends with more than just the finished meal.
Absolutely. And that will open up a whole new world of recipes that aren't available in your native language.
Yeah.
Right. Learning the ropes of culinary English allows you to truly become a chef of sorts in a global sense.
All right, we've finished today's lesson. How did you find it? 理解できない部分はありませんでしたか? Repeat and try again tomorrow if needed. Please let me know your kansa or request in the comments. ぜひチャンネルの登録をお願いします. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. See you next time. Bye bye.